Is Calgary suffering like the rest of Canada and all the headlines that you're seeing? Well, we're going to dig into the numbers and look at actually what is happening in the market right now. And as you may have noticed, yep, I had an accident this summer. So we're going to do our best to get through all of the details, all of the fun stuff right here. And hint, hint, don't go mountain biking in Whistler. So let's start off with looking at Calgary and the numbers and what's going on right here. So if you head over to our website, chamberlaingroup.ca/Calgary real estate market, you're going to find this chart and all of this data there for you. And right now you can see 174% of all the homes that listed in the last 3 months have sold in Calgary. So we're still seeing a lot of momentum, a lot of numbers, a lot of sales happening compared to what you're seeing in the articles. A lot of articles are talking about how the real estate market is over in Canada and things are crashing and all this kind of stuff. And Calgary is a little different. I don't know how to say it. I don't think we're special. Just the numbers show it. And you're going to see it in these numbers. And especially look at this, the months of inventory. So this is the current months of inventory for all the different communities in the city. And we are still an average at 1.7 months of inventory. Now this data was taken right at the beginning of August. And this is what we're looking at. But one thing we've been working on hard and really focusing on is giving you better data. So we are actually tracking every single day. Here's all the details, tracking all the data every single day since the beginning of July and what is happening. And so when we look at Calgary's numbers here, you can see on the blue the number of active listings. A lot of places right now, this is skyrocketing. So this number is increasing like crazy. We are not. The number, so if we have below 5,000 listings, that is not enough inventory to keep pace at a typical demand that Calgary is needing. And this is very much indicative of that, right? And so you can see the red line here. The number of sales has slowed down from beginning of July, and that to me is totally normal. Right now, people are on holidays. People are looking and swimming and looking for ways to relax and chill and get out of the city versus hunting for homes, right? So if that's the case, and we are seeing that more and more with a lot of clients and a lot of people out of town, this is what it should look like. This is okay. And the number of pending listings you can see right here is in orange. Now, months of inventory. This is, again, every single day we are pulling the numbers. The blue line is actually looking at over the last 30 days, what was the activity and what does that look like? And the red line is the 7 days. So we're pulling 7-day numbers. The red one is gonna go up and down. There's gonna be a lot of fluctuations in that. Blue is going to give us more of an indication of what's happening. So we went from, around, let's see here, it was about 1.7. And at the end here was 2.2, 2.07. So we have moved into that seller's market. So if you watched any of our other videos over the last couple months about the market, we were expecting over the summer this to come in. Now, what will be interesting is this going to go down? Is this going to get below 2 months of inventory as we head into the fall? So watch for mid-September, because we could see that, because there's still a lot of people moving here, a lot of people who are wanting to make changes. And right here is the average list price. So the average list price in Calgary as of that day was 613. Back here was 602. So you can see it's kind of fluctuating just over 600. Now the difference here in yellow is the average sold price, $499, $500, $496. So that average sale price has been slowly dropping, but honestly, it's only been $519 down to $496. So we're not seeing this massive drop. And the red line here is the last list price average. So not saying you list here at 609, you drop to 507 and you sell for 498. This is just showing you kind of what's going on in the market and what the average prices are selling, okay? And down here is the sale price to last list price. So this is a really good indication of what is the percentage of you're getting off of listings when you're actually negotiating. And so back in early July, we were looking at 99%. Properties were selling at 99%. There was one day here where it was 102. So there must have been a whole bunch of multiple offers on July 13th, right at the end of Stampede. But then as we came through, 98, 98, 98. And even just the last numbers here, oops, there we go, is 97.9. So we're seeing a slight drop. But again, some sellers are willing to just sell for a little bit more off because there are fewer buyers looking, because there's more people on holidays and we're in the middle of summer and it's hot. People who want to be at the beaches. And in Calgary, it's totally different. If it's hot, we gotta enjoy it. We don't get hot summers for very long. So a lot of people are taking time off and running away and enjoying it. So that's kind of the market we're in. And the collective days on market, what this means is collectively, if you took your house off the market and then you went back on the market within I think it's a month window, it would still add all of the days on market. So we are currently sitting around 50 days on market, where we started the summer around 45. So it's really not that big of a change. Okay. Now I want to jump in and show you guys the other surrounding cities, because a lot of you, when you're looking at properties, you are actually looking at Airdrie, Okotoks, Cochrane, Chestermere. So I want to show you some quick numbers here for that. And what it looks like is right here. So the number of active homes in Airdrie has been sitting around 220, and it actually has been staying there quite readily and quite steadily, right? The number of sold listings, the number of sold has actually decreased down to 162. So actually what that should show is that our days on market are going up, which it is. So you can see we started the 24 and we went up to 27. It's really not that big of a difference. The average list price, this was really interesting to me because the beginning of the summer, a lot of places, the average list price was $597 and it dropped all the way down to $544. But people are relisting or coming back on the market or just listing for the first time. And they're again pushing those prices up at $581. But you can also see the sold price in Airdrie, middle of July was $449. And now it's about $462. So prices haven't been dropping in Airdrie. This list price, people are trying to figure out what is this new market that we're sitting in, right? And then that sale price. So beginning of summer, a lot of the average stuff was selling at list price or more, where now we're sitting about 98%. So you can find some deals, find some motivated sellers where you can actually start negotiating, and it's not all multiple offers. And again, that 30-day inventory, we went from under 1 month up to over about 1.3. So it's still in a seller's market in Airdrie. You got to remember, anything under 2 months of inventory, which is right there, you can see the top, anything over that 2 months of inventory is considered a seller's market. So let's take a look at Cochrane. For those of you that are interested in Cochrane, beautiful little town. Airdrie is north of Calgary. Cochrane is northwest of Calgary. And the number of active listings in Cochrane has actually increased, where we were about 110. Now there's 137. So there has been an increase in the number of listings coming on the market. The number of solds have actually decreased. So this is an interesting trend that we didn't see in Calgary or we didn't see in Airdrie. And the average sold price, list price, has kind of stayed the same, 566 to 577. So they've kind of stayed steady that way. Sold prices have actually increased and they're coming down a little bit. So they're kind of all over, again, finding that new bottom. Days on market is very similar, 26, 26. And what I'm showing you here, guys, is that the Calgary market and the areas around it are not collapsing like Vancouver and Toronto, right? We have an affordability that is still under 40% of the average income that was here, going towards the average cost of living, where those other areas are all 65, 70% and more. So we really still have a very affordable city, and this is why we are seeing these numbers, right? The 7-day inventory and the 30-day inventory, we're still in a seller's market in Cochrane, and the sale price to list price ratio is 98. It's all very, very strong. Chestermere is interesting. Chestermere is east of Calgary, and it has a lake. We don't got a lot of lakes around here, but Chestermere has a lake. And what you're going to notice is right here. Look at this. The sale price. Bam! Average sold price yesterday was $720. Yesterday being August 15th is when I'm shooting this, on the 16th or the 15th, whatever day today is. And on last week, it was around 600. So what does that mean? All it means is there was a high or a couple high properties probably on the lake that sold for over $1 million and are skewing the stats. That's what that means. And same with list price, sale price. So it's dropped down 97%. So something might have been listed really high and they got it for a lot less. And that kind of skewed the stats there. And here, days on market. So days on market have been going up steadily in Chestermere. But again, it's around mid 30s. It's jumped up here. We'll see if this changes for Chestermere. And yeah, that's Chestermere. So kind of interesting. Okotoks is the last one we're going to go through. And Okotoks has been a little bit different. Okotoks has actually stayed around 1 month of inventory, which is really rare because all the other areas and towns and cities have not stayed there. And what's happened is it's just purely a lack of inventory. Like, we started the summer with around 80, 90 active listings in the area, and it's dropped down into the 70s over the last little bit. So there has been more sales than there are active listings, which is gonna cause a problem. And that is where, when you see these numbers, look at this, you can't even tell the difference. They look orange because red and yellow make orange. Hey, primary colors. Last list price and average sold price, everything is selling really, really close to sale price. 99.6, 99.6, 99.6, maybe a trend, 99.7, and 100. So this is the first time we've dropped into the low 99 percentile for sale price to last list price percentage ratios. So Okotoks is a little bit different right now. It's still really, really tight out there, very much a seller's market. And so if you are considering selling in any of these areas and you want to put a strategy together, please reach out to us. You know where to find us, info@chamberlaingroup.ca, or a comment here on the video and we can chat more. We have a lot of information that we want to help you set up your listing properly. And if you're looking at buying, we have some incredible agents on our team who know what they're doing and are able to find fantastic deals for you in the city. Doesn't matter if you're buying now or if you're planning in 6 months or a year. Let's chat. All right. We will see you guys on the next video and chat with you soon.